Hi everyone, today I am back over on a rainy day, a public Minecraft Skyblock server for both Java and Bedrock. And in today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you how to lava cast your entire island wall to wall, max height to max floor length, border to border. And the reason why you're going to want to lava cast is because it's actually the quickest way to mine earth ores. If I kind of just quickly jump in and show you, if you do the command /ores, depending on the realm that you're on, obviously we have now unlocked Underworld, but if I come on back over to Earth for a second, you could use this method to mine up lapis if you want elapis, but also redstone, because the quicker you can get the redstone, that's when you can unlock sniffer spawners. If I come on back over into Underworld mining, you're going to want to go ahead and unlock copper, because copper allows you to get the custom recipe for zombie spawners. I highly recommend though making sure that you have the category unlocked before you do this. So if you do want to use this method for copper, make sure that you have unlocked copper first of all. So obviously I have set my lava cast to earth because I've already unlocked lapis, and I kind of wanted the elapis is the main reason why, but make sure you unlock it first. Now please don't forget to like this video if you haven't already, and please don't forget to subscribe if not already. Now let's jump into Now things that you're going to need is you're going to need the command /mp, aka multi-place. This is really important to basically speed your process up, and I also recommend having the command /flag. You can still do this if you don't have those two things, but it's just going to take you a lot longer to do. Okay, so I'm on my island, and basically I've just max placed a load of blocks to get to max height, which is what you're going to do. So this is where you basically want to multi-place. You can multi-place up to 64, and you want to go to max height on your island. It is going to take me a bit of time to get that, but we're almost there. And this block is basically the highest you can go. So, for example, I cannot place above that. Now, you're going to want to come a few blocks down. Now, this is the lowest, like the most that you can come down. You can come further down to be safe, but you can't come any lower. Like, you have to basically be at this block, if that makes sense. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks down is where we're going to start the build. You cannot start it any higher because of the block limit. So you need to be at least 5 blocks down. Maybe do a few more if you want to be precautious. Now basically I have just max placed it all the way to my border, because as I mentioned, it's going to lag my island. So I want it to be as close to the border as possible. But I am going to come quite a few blocks in, because this whole system is going to be like using like 4 blocks from where you're starting type of thing. It'll make sense when I start this. Okay, so we are going to make it border to border. Now, I have done a couple of things which I do recommend, which is basically your island size. You can upgrade it. I actually paid for the cloud point upgrade just because I did want a bigger island. And basically, I'm just going to go ahead and multi-place 64. You can use any block that you want. I just so happen to have so much spare cobble that I was like, I'm just going to use cobble for this. As I mentioned, I've come quite a way in. But basically, because I want this to be border to border, I'm just going to multi-place 64 blocks and just see how far across I can go to. So this is basically the max border there. And I'm also just going to come all the way across here. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. And now I'm at my other border. I'm just going to break off my cross, because this is basically just my starting point of where we would start in this thing. What we're going to do is we're going to disable multi-place, and then on top of this cobblestone block, basically you're going to go ahead and every single cobble stone needs to be filled with lava. So as you can imagine, this is going to take quite a bit of time to do. So I'm probably just going to speed this process up and come back to you once I've done a decent chunk of this. Okay, so my lava is now fully loaded in, max height to max length, border to border. Now the next step is pretty important. So you'll see on the sidebar, it has my current weather. And if I do the command / weather, we can see it is sunny. You are gonna want to do everything that you can to basically get a cloudy weather. So if you are lucky enough to have a totem, then definitely use a totem. Check auction house for totems. Make sure you do all things like voting, loot box, etc. To try and get a totem. If not, wait until it is cloudy before we proceed to the next step. So step 1, get cloudy weather on your island. Step 2 is island upgrades. And in here, you are going to want to try and max out your ore gen. So mine is currently level 8. And basically you can see here, this is the amount of ores that are going to generate. So we have an 8% chance right now. The higher, the better for this. And then also in here, you are going to want to try and up your weather buff. So mine is currently at level 3, but again, this is just an additional boost. Now, once we have all of those steps in place, what I'm going to do is I'm kind of just going to come across with any block. It really does not matter what block, but as you can kind of see, I'm just coming across like this. And I am burning myself, but it's okay. That was a disaster, but this is kind of what we want to be left with. And I'm just going to break all of these back like this. And I'm also just going to break these two. So basically you want a block directly above it. Once you have your block on top like this, we are going to go ahead and we are going to multi-place 64 again. And we are basically just going to multi-place back across the top like this. Again, you do need to go the full length of where you've placed lava. So we can see here is the max. And I'm just going to fly across to this side. And we're also going to just do it from here. Once we have that, our next step is turn off multiplace. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to make some pocket space by getting rid of all of those. And I'm also going to get rid of all these buckets that I have because I have an insane amount of buckets. So once we have our blocks on top, you're going to need a water bucket. You can get this from the command /shop. And in here, you can buy a water bucket for $10. I have a load in my inventory, but you only need 1 water bucket to do this next step. Now, before I start it, you're going to want to do the command is oregen. And basically, you need to decide if you want your lava casting to be for Earth or Underworld. The reason why I'm not doing Underworld is because I've not yet unlocked copper. So I'm going to stick to Earth because I still want to get lapis. And basically, what we're now going to do is once that is set, you're going to place your first water bucket down. And you'll see that this is going to start to generate. You'll see it's coming to about here. And then I'm basically just going to re-add the water and let it flow all the way across and then keep repeating this process. Okay, so we have managed to finally load all the water out and it should be something like this towards the end. Excuse that half because I had a mistake at the very start. But you should have a giant wall of ores. Now we basically want to get right the way back up to the very top where we first started. So give me a second while I fly back up and then I will touch base with you. What have you got in your head?
Okay.
What have you got on your head?
That's my pet. It's just the angle you've got of me. It's just the angle. That's too funny.
So our wall should look something like this. Now I do recommend under the command /skills, under the mining category, you have the ability to enable a drill. I highly recommend making sure that this is equipped and then basically you just shift click down to activate it. Basically what you want to do is break the first block. The very first one towards the end of your ore gen will be obsidian, and then every single block after that is going to be lava. And basically what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and break all the way across like this. And what should start to happen is lava should start to spew out like this. I'm going to aim like an inch above that top block and just shift click all the way across like this. I can't activate my ability for another 41 minutes. So I'm kind of just going to do it this way. this is the safest way without burning and without breaking too many blocks. Once we are done, it should look something like this. Now, unfortunately, we have to do the same thing as before, where we need to wait for the lava to fully load in from top height to bottom height. Okay, so my lava is now fully loaded in and we are on to the final step, which is the exact same as before. Just add your water in and you'll notice, give it a few seconds and it will start to load through. And as it starts to load through, grab your water, come to where it's sort of stopped and then let it do its thing. And basically we will now have in total 4 walls ready to just mine earth. So you should be left with something like this. Now obviously you do need to let your water load in, but then basically this is now ready to use. So the idea behind it is F3 and G and you can see where your chunk is. I recommend putting a chunk collector on the top somewhere along here, and then basically you just come down the wall and you mine up whatever ore you are after. So for example, if we was after the lapis, you can come on down and you can keep mining the lapis or the coal or the iron. To get through to the second one, if I kind of just make a quick hole inside here like this, as I come through, you'll see the internal wall as well. So you can kind of do it at the same time and come through, collect all of the ones that you're after. That is the end of the video, guys. I hope you found it useful. Let me know if you do use this method. As I've mentioned, make sure you set your IS or gen to make sure it's either for earth or for void, depending on which one you're doing, and you can have as many of these as you want. Just remember they do lag out your island, so put them as far away from anywhere else as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in another video very soon, but goodbye for now.